Welcome back to the lab. I'm Tanner.
And I'm Holden, and today we're going to be talking about the Chemix. The Chemix was invented in 1941 by a chemist named Peter Schlumbaum. It's in the Museum of Modern Art because, I mean, look at this thing. It looks pretty nice. And it's our favorite way to brew coffee here at the space. But with the Chemix comes some cons, so what are they?
So some of the cons that we've noticed after brewing hundreds of these things is that it's pretty breakable. When you're cleaning it, when you're moving it around, it's one piece of glass, so it's easy to break. Another thing that is kind of difficult with the Chemix is cleaning under the collar because of the shape, cleaning on the inside, and it's also a little bit less forgiving in terms of extraction, so you have to stay pretty involved with the brewing process. But what are some of the things that we like about the Chemix?
So with that involved process comes kind of more of like a therapeutic way to start your day. It's a really nice way to just kind of take your mind off of everything else going around and just kind of be involved in your brewing. With the Chemix also, it highlights more of the citrus and the acidity in our coffees. It provides a way cleaner cup. And actually, when we come up with the flavor notes on our bags, most of the time we're using a Chemix, and that's how we determine what our coffee's notes are going to be. And it combines form and function, so it looks great in your house.
So let's brew one.
Let's do it.
So the first step in brewing your Chemix is you're going to need a Chemix filter. The reason we use Chemix filters specifically is because they were made for the design of the Chemix. They were designed a little bit thicker, so they create that clarity in the cup that we mentioned. When you create the cone shape for your Chemix filter, you want to make sure that the side with the 3 folds is on the side with the spout of the Chemix. This prevents us from creating a vacuum, like a suction, that prevents the brew from happening. So the next step is we're going to rinse our filter.
And we rinse the filter to remove that papery taste that filters kind of give sometimes, and it also preheats the vessel.
So now that we've dumped the rinse water, we're going to add 45 grams of your preferred coffee at a medium-coarse grind setting.
So next is the bloom, which ensures even extraction, but how much water are we going to use for this bloom?
So for the bloom, I typically do about 80 grams or double the weight of your grinds. So I do the bloom for about 30 seconds.
And with the bloom, you want to make sure it evenly coats all of the grounds.
And sometimes I do a swirl just to ensure that. So at the 30-second mark, I'm going to add up to about 500 grams of water and then give it a quick stir at the top.
So why is it important to stir?
The reason I like to stir is because sometimes the grounds get stuck on the side of the filter and on the side of the Chemix. So what I like to do is stir the top just to ensure that even extraction so that all the grounds can be incorporated in the brew. So at the 2-minute mark, you want to add up to the 720 grams of water, and that's a 1:16 ratio.
So what are some of the coffees that we typically brew on Chemix here?
With our Chemix, we typically like to drink lighter to medium roasted coffees. It highlights some of those flavor notes on our bags.
And why wouldn't we brew like a dark roast coffee on this?
With a dark roast, it doesn't necessarily highlight the body that you want to get out of the roast, so we like to stay with the lighter roast.
Cool.
Once you've poured to the 720 grams, you want to let it brew, and it should be completed brewing between around 4 minutes and 4.5 minutes.
Now that we're at the 4.5 minute mark, we're gonna go ahead and throw away our coffee grounds and taste this thing. It's a nice clean cup right there.
Yeah.
Well, it really highlights the acidity and it's a pretty clean cup.
Yeah, the coffee that we're drinking is pretty fruity, so I'm getting a lot of those fruity notes. They stand out pretty clearly, and like you said, it is very clean. So that's the Chemix. Thanks for joining us at the lab.
Make sure to try it at home. Let us know what you think.
And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel.
See you.